you, everybody. I'm Joe Travelini. I'm the Director of Products for Sqrrl. We're a startup, so we couldn't afford the vowels, but that's pronounced Sqrrl. Some of you, if you've heard of us, we're a big data company. We started out with a NoSQL database, similar to what John talked about. We're now pivoting into the space of cybersecurity analytics, so that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. So quickly going through some numbers. These are numbers having to do with cybersecurity breaches and hacks. We're probably hearing about a new hack or data breach, seemingly one new one every week at this point. We just heard about Sony recently. So 229, what that is actually the average amount of days when a network attack happens, between when it happens and when somebody finds out about it. So you think about that, over half a year, somebody's within your network system and you have no idea. 87% of the time, it's actually third-party intelligence. Maybe law enforcement raided something overseas. They forensically scrape a hard drive. They find a company document, and they tell the company, hey, did you know we found your documents overseas in this organized crime ring? It's actually 87% of the time when there's a security incident, it's coming from outside the organization. So again, the attackers are in there, and you have no idea. 9 out of 10 times, or those are the odds, 9 out of 10, that if you are a company with over 500 machines within your network, you currently have a network breach. So you don't have to be that big, 500 computers, chances are a 90% chance you have a breach right now. And then 12.7 million, that's the average cost of a breach. You keep in mind, like Target last year, their CEO had to resign. They spent over $200 million cleaning up the mess. But there's a long tail on the other end too, right? Not every breach is worth 12 million, but the stakes are high and they're relevant for everybody. If you have a digital presence, you have data that's potentially valuable to you that somebody might want to steal. So who are we? We're a next generation platform for hunting down these cyber threats. So we give you a unified solution for storing, processing, integrating, and analyzing all types of data. We bring that into what we call a linked data model. I'll talk more about that in a second. Our solution's built on top of Apache Hadoop and Apache Accumulo, 2 big data technologies. And because of the power that these things afford us, we're able to keep lots more data of different varieties of formats for much longer periods of time. And this is a boon for our security investigations process. So analysts are able to pinpoint the actors, assets, and events that they care about. They can pull in raw data from any source to generate the information and corroborate this. And we can run advanced analytics to prioritize their queue. With that linked data model, we're essentially building behavioral profiles of these things, users, machines, any other entity that you care about, and then we can automatically alert the analysts when there's something that merits their attention. So with our web UI, which is another thing that we built on top of our original database platform, users can naturally visualize the context and explore the connection between these entities and relationships, and quickly recognize patterns and react to things that might be suspicious. So why linked data? What does it get you? Kind of 3 main areas that it excels in. First being pattern matching, so you have something you want to look for, go look for it. And with our big data technology, that can be of greater complexity than you can do with traditional pattern matching or security tool. Pattern discovery, so finding new things that you might want to go match against in the future. And then finally, kind of the holy grail of all this is the anomaly detection component. Right? So baselining all the things that you care about, detecting outliers from that baseline, and notifying an analyst. So my normal demo is actually 20 minutes long, but I don't have that amount of time. So I have this 45-second or so video montage that shows you some of our key features. So this is our user configurable dashboard interface. You can build reports about things you care about. You can navigate the contents visually of these events with a single click, dynamically expand the things that they're related to. We build statistics on aggregation features and things that you might be interested in. Again, baselining these things and being able to detect them for anomalies. Drilling down to the raw data, so again, going full circle, triangulating the event, seeing what sourced that information. And then visually pulling out these outliers so that an investigator can quickly drill into them. So that's it. Thank you. We are hiring. in case you're interested. Go visit our website, Sqrrl.com, shoot me a tweet, shoot me an email, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
How do you obtain your raw data, like user authentication and all those login?
Yep. So the question is, how do you obtain your raw data? This is up to the customer. That you go out to any network device you might have, like a switch or a server. You mentioned authentication logs. If you can tap into Active Directory or some other Kerberos environment. Right now, it's up to the customer to point our system at those sources. We can consume them via protocols like syslog. In the future, we're considering shipping connectors out to these common data sources, like an Apache server, a Windows domain controller, to lower the barrier to entry to get that data in. Questions?
So you're selling the platform, not the service itself. I mean, are you actually actively working with companies to figure these things out?
No. So I mean, we do have a services arm where we'll go on site and help people do use case discovery and implementation. So we have two SKUs. One being the platform, just the pure database tier with a linked data model, bringing in that data and transforming it into something actionable. And then the analyst interface, the UI, is a separate SKU that we license on a per user basis.
How big is the cluster, a typical cluster at a client site?
So a typical cluster at a client site, that all depends. We sit on top of Apache Hadoop. So those, Hadoop cluster, minimum of 3 nodes, and each node can store anywhere from 6 terabytes to up to now 48 terabytes per server. Typical 2U server, so commodity x86 hardware. We scale into the thousands of nodes, right? And we leverage Hadoop's linear scalability. So the more data you have that you want to store and process, the more servers you can throw on it. Don't have to change your application code. That's how Hadoop functions, right? So.
Who are your competitors and how are you different?
Yep. So who are our competitors and how are we different? We see a couple of different established vendors that we compete with. Guys like Palantir, if you've heard of them, in the federal space mostly, but they have some commercial, financial, and healthcare customers as well. Splunk from a data collection standpoint, they're also kind of getting into the security space. And as you might imagine, with all the news on cybersecurity, there's like 24 startups that we compete with. How we find ourselves different, a lot of these security companies are coming from the security angle. They have domain expertise, and then they try to figure out how to solve the big data problem. We started as a big data company. We have this very unique graph linked data model, and we're able to do layered anomaly detection using a variety of different techniques over that nobody frankly has the technology to do that today. Another question.
Do you have any cool anecdotes or some intriguing you found that you might be able to share?
So one of our large telecom customers, they use it for what they call internal investigations. We found somebody that was trying to circumvent device controls on laptop USB ports because they were trying to steal documents. So that's one that I can't get into too much detail on, but absolutely. Well, thank you for the time and enjoy.